All right, we are live. This is the Prop 34 Execution Committee. We are the people who have been doing some enhanced marketing activities with a budget from the community pool on behalf of the Cosmos Hub. This is sort of an AMA report back. We have myself, I'm Zaki Munyan. Does everybody else want to quickly introduce themselves? I'll go Brady Bunch for introductions. Garrett, yeah. Garrett, why don't we go like across the top and then?
That sounds good. Yeah, so I'm Garrett. My introduction to the Cosmos community was Regen Network about 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Since then, have befriended Jack and David, Joe, Adriana, and Zucky. Jack kindly suggested I get involved with this, and I, not to borrow Jack's terminology, but I'm somewhat of a Ronin in the crypto ecosystem. So, masterless.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're non-committal, right? I mean, it is the case for you. So that's that.
I think the number of Ronins in crypto is growing. I think the Ronin lifestyle is actually a pretty cool lifestyle.
Yeah.
In crypto.
The meta like gig economy. You know what I mean? It's like, I heard you like gig economy, so we put gig economy in your gig economy.
All right, David.
Oh, no, that's perfect. My name is Dave Fortson. I am serving as the project manager for the Prop 34/46 effort. I am the marketing director over at Regen Network and also run my own marketing communications agency called Loacom. So super happy to be here and have really loved hanging out with this crew on a regular basis.
Mr. Jack.
Jack.
Nice. Well, hey, my name's Jack Zamplin, and I actually recently removed Ronin from my job description. I am working on product at Sommelier Finance, the protocol side of things primarily. And I woke up on Christmas last year and saw that Polkadot and a bunch of these other currencies were getting a lot of love, and Atom was not. And that was kind of the genesis of Prop 34. So I've been working hard on kind of bringing folks together and working on marketing Atom.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. I am Adriana. You all know me from Today in Cosmos, my early days when we have started this initiative. I've been in this space for, I think, 4 years now in the Cosmos space, and it's been a great pleasure to serve the community and work with for the community with these fine folks here. We have really enjoyed this past month of our work, and yeah, I hope you all are very appreciative of our work so far, and whatever questions you might have for the existing work or what's coming next in the proposal, please shoot your questions here. We're happy to answer, and yeah, happy to give the seat to Joe.
All right, yeah, so I'm Joe Dierte. I'm just a cosmonaut that was messing around in Telegram and hanging around the right people, and I didn't have a job at the time, so I was spending a lot of time in there meeting all these folks. And like Jack said, Cosmos wasn't getting enough love on the marketing front, and I heard when marketing too many times, so I was volunteered to be one of the multi-sig signers and run this thing, and one thing led to another, and bam. It's going fantastic, and I'm really loving all the people that I've met here and the work we've done and stuff. So,
and I will say, Joe, you have done a lot of the core work on this, and for somebody with not a lot of marketing experience, you picked it up surprisingly quickly. It's been really cool to watch.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't consider it my forte. I'm an engineer, so I'm probably the exact opposite of a marketer, but I just love Cosmos enough that it works. Like, I bring the passion.
So yeah, so this is the group. Let me hold on. I got rid of everyone now. That was what I intended to do. So this has been the team. We've been working together since January, since Prop 34 passed. and so like, you know, I think Jack kind of got a little bit into the genesis of Prop 34. The idea was, you know, we have this community fund. You know, it's somewhat small compared to many other community funds that are out there, but there actually hasn't been that much spending out of it. And, you know, I'm a big believer in, you know, I think the community fund should be bigger. But like the community, it's hard to ask Atom holders for more when we haven't deployed what we've got. And so we have been, you know, I've been trying I think I am a member of most, if not all, of the multi-sigs. But
Zachy, king of the multi-sigs.
Yeah, it's also somewhat true that like I'm the one who teaches everyone how to use multi-sigs because I'm an OG multi-sig user on the Cosmos Hub. But so what did we, you know, one of the things that I think was one of the core reasons why Prop 34 got started is that in general, you know, the way in which people learn about blockchain has changed. You know, the blockchain community has grown enormously. You know, we are back in another bull market where like it seems like everyone is owning cryptocurrencies now. But the way in which people discover crypto assets, learn about them, get their information has really changed. It used to be, you know, crypto Twitter was like, you know, was the way people sort of circulated information. You know, the years of the bear market were mostly characterized by a lot of you know, participation by funds, which, you know, we have a lot of awareness in those circles. But as a new wave of users has come into the ecosystem, it was pretty clear back in December that we didn't have the right awareness and the right inroads into the community that was doing it. And what we wanted to try the experiment of was putting some time, effort, and throwing some money around to see if we could get some greater awareness of Cosmos and Atoms among all this like new community of users that is coming in. And, you know, I think from that point of view is what I kind of consider the sort of big success of Prop 34 was that, like, you know, when I go onto YouTube now, when you look on Twitter, I see lots of people that like I didn't know in January and February making videos, making content. It is not the same old faces, and that was really the goal. And you know, the attitude that we've taken is we had to build this entire, like, none of us had done any of this before. We had to build all of this, these relationships and this ecosystem and everything from scratch. I didn't do that much work. Mostly what I've just been doing is administering the multi-sig, and Occlusion has been helping out with when there are people who are not able to be paid in atoms. We handle the atom to fiat aspect of this, but this has been pretty much very much Jack and get like the rest of the team here, and especially Joe. Joe. The Cosmos community owes a debt of gratitude.
Totally.
And this is in the grand tradition of a non-Telegram people becoming core community members, and how this happens. Joe that's the Joe story. Yeah, I don't spend as much time in the price chat as I have been because I've been busy with Familier and a new project. But you know, so I'm missing all the new people. But we have a great community here, and this has really been a grassroots effort to improve awareness. And I do think that things have made a big difference. So I'm just going.
I agree with that.
Did that satisfy my?
I think,
yeah, that's great.
We'll circle back to you. Maybe I'll jump into the project management side. So thanks again, Zachy, and to the whole team, and really a big debt of gratitude to all the cosmonauts who voted on Prop 34 originally and had the vision to fund this effort. And obviously, you know, Prop 46 ends here in a couple days, I believe. So we're just want to make sure you all get out and vote one way or the other. Governance and participation in governance is a huge part of a healthy ecosystem. So just want to make sure you get out there, check it out, check your wallets, get your votes out. On the project management side, as you can imagine, deploying the amount of Atom that the community allocated for this effort, particularly, frankly, as it rose in price, was a big effort. It is a big effort. It requires daily, minute by minute communication. I mean, y'all can see our Prop 34 Telegram channel. It is a beauty and a mess. It's busy. But it is, I think in a lot of ways shows the dedication of the team and to really the level of detail that's required to account for, to discuss contract, relationships, to, a big part of what we're doing is evaluating and reallocating and optimizing every atom spent in service to the goals of Prop 34 originally. And, as I think as we got into it as a team, one, we all had to tighten up our games really quickly. We meet weekly on Wednesdays, early for us West Coasters, 7 a.m. Pacific, and early for Garrett, which is, 10 a.m. Eastern, which is, it's fine. And, and we have an agenda and we go through and we're literally reporting, discussing, really hitting every aspect of the promised deliverables to the Cosmos community. So really, I think a kudos to everyone here for your dedication to making this happen. And I think as we look at Prop 46, one of the big takeaways for us is, in order to deploy this amount of Atom wisely and to really, optimize for in service to the goal of Prop 34, it just is taking a little bit more time. So as you'll see in that proposal, it's not necessarily a team.
There he is.
Back?
Yeah, you're good.
Back.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Back.
It's just an extension. So we're looking for you to give us all a little bit more time to make this money work, to make these atoms do their job in support of Atom and Cosmos. So anyhow, that's the highlight of it. There's my daughter's going over there. Anyhow, so with that said, I wanted to turn it over, to the rest of the team. I think you're going to hear over the next bit of time from each member of the team. Everyone has one role to a degree or another, from ad spends to influencers to video to memes to PR, and we have some really exciting stuff to report on, and some really exciting stuff on the horizon. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Jack and Garrett, who are helping facilitate getting Cosmos and Atom into conventional and crypto media.
Yeah. Well, that's a great four-way, and I do kind of want to pass it over to Garrett. But just as a little bit of background, Garrett and I have been kind of chatting for a little while, and about all things ETH and Regen and the Cosmos. And he's been teaching me about ETH, and I've been teaching him about the Atoms. And I mentioned that we wanted to get some more media attention for this Prop 34 marketing effort we were going. And he was like, "Oh, well, I've got these guys who run a PR agency up in New York." And that actually led us to talk to like 2 or 3 different PR agencies, but we ended up going with GFCA, which is the agency that Garrett introduced us to, and they've been great. Garrett, do you want to tell us a little bit more about GFCA?
Yeah, and a little bit maybe more about the roads that led me there and my career in crypto as well.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. I think that'll be interesting for everyone on this call.
Yeah, prepare yourself. So I mean, ironically now, or maybe coincidentally now, it really began with Doge mining, and became like more interested in these ideas of like computational processing power and renting that out. Throughout the relatively early Ethereum days to the termination of the last bull market, I was in that pretty intensely. And then I pivoted a little bit and worked on a Bitcoin ETF. And throughout all that time, a lot of my mission in crypto has been to kind of take these weird esoteric ideas like staking and mining and bringing them to large reservoirs of money, which has happened organically in some ways with like the digital gold narrative in Bitcoin, but less so with what I believe are more effective and familiar financial instruments like staking, which, you know, resembles passive income that you would get from ordinary investments. So the Gregory FCA guys are amazing because they traditionally work with mainstream media outlets, things like Forbes, Bloomberg, CNN. Recently we had Pung in Business Insider, which in my opinion is a huge get. My core goal, in working with Jack to kind of reach those places is that the echo chamber of the influencers on Twitter and CoinDesk kind of, I think, has become saturated in some regards. I think that where we can get a lot of mileage in bringing Atom out and distributed networks broadly, to be frank, is actually in these more conventional outlets where people are, down in Wall Street or in Singapore or London, and they have no idea what Atom is because it hasn't been fed to them in the way that CNBC or whatever has fed that. So Jack and I have been spending a lot of time with Gregory FCA, which is, again, a more traditional PR agency, to get a lot of these narratives in front of people that ordinarily would not have had them. And Jack in particular has done a absolutely phenomenal job in addressing a lot of the comments from mainstream reporters. And these are bridges that are going, the bridges that we're building now through there are going to be, secured for years as this industry grows more, and as Cosmos grows more, like they will be calling Tendermint, and they will be calling Jack, and they will be calling Zaki and myself, and that the people that work on this to, make comments on that, and that is some work that I'm actually pretty proud of.
Hey, Garrett or Jack, could you speak to some of the what you're hearing on the kind of emerging storylines or narratives around Cosmos that GFCA is seeing? Is we gotten that far in? I know we just started with them recently, but I don't know if you're got some thoughts there.
Yeah, I can take one or two of those and then pass that off to Jack, because I know that Jack has been having a lot. The ones that I've liked that have come through have been I don't remember what publication this woman was from, but she was doing a pretty competent story on alternatives to Ethereum for DeFi. As DeFi is becoming more popular, I think that like the narrative is going like, oh, like wait, there's more. It's not just Ethereum. It turns out there's other networks that are cheaper, faster, secure, a lot of money, and are maybe even just safer broadly. That has been a good article. Again, what Pung had in Business Insider, and I'm happy to aggregate these things. I think that we have a spreadsheet, and we can probably just disseminate them to the people that have listened in on this call. I feel like there was another one that was really, really good. Jack, do you remember the one where we started to hammer on the 100 billion secured by
Oh yeah, I do. The one narrative, though, that I do want to talk about, and sorry, Adriana, is one that's, I think, near and dear to kind of everyone on this call, and I'm looking very forward to sort of pushing a little bit more in the media, is as this bull market goes on, and I think we're going to get a lot more pushback on the environmental narrative, especially around proof of work currencies. And I see David and Garrett both nodding, because this is. Yeah, sorry, Garrett.
No, I mean, New York is crying. I mean, I think that New York City literally, or New York State literally said yesterday, like, we stop mining until we figure out the environmental impact. And I mean, I just think, I had a background in climate finance behind all this. So it's like, it's not even just regen or offsetting or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's just incredible that like you have like the entire Ethereum network emitting, these tons, like kilotons of carbon. And then like Cosmos is just as effective, if not more effective on, 2 hours of emission of that time. So it's like, so that's a huge point of interest for all of us.
And this is something that's core to Cosmos and has always been a key selling point of what we've done. And actually, if you go back and read the white paper and a lot of the original statements from Bucky, Jay, and the sort of core community, making sure we don't boil the oceans to give ourselves an equitable currency has been a core goal of this community for a really long time. And I think that there's not only a huge spot in the public narrative for that, but a lot of sort of policymaker education that we as the proof of stake space need to do in order to make sure that, these mainstream people who are coming in and learning about cryptocurrency for the first time don't just see this huge evil corporation. They see these organic online communities that are very socially conscious and environmentally focused, building these systems. And that is something that I think Cosmos is a shining example of, and something that we're working hard to push more in the media.
Great. Well, with that, maybe we can we'll do a touch point on everyone. Maybe we can move over to Adriana. Adriana is one of the shining stars in the Cosmos ecosystem, and she's also carrying a really significant load for the team when it comes to ad spends and deployment of these funds to make sure that anywhere you can see a banner ad in the crypto ecosystem, that you're going to see Cosmos. So maybe Adriana, you want to kind of break down what you're doing there?
Yeah, sure. Just trying to share my screen right now. 1 second.
Should pop up for me, and then I should be able to do it. Yep, here we go.
Okay, that's everyone. Is everyone able to?
Here we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yes. Let's go.
Man.
Okay, so I was mostly in charge of the banner ads and everything that goes into that. We had some great excitement making sure that Cosmos is visible on all our major platforms. And first of all, we started with the promotion on the Stargate webpage, because the Cosmos website revamp was not yet done. So we started slow with Blockfolio, and then we moved to CoinStats, and in terms of wallets. And in terms of platforms, we picked on CoinGecko and Staking Rewards. And we had some great numbers on the Stargate webpage, and some great impressions, and that led into new acquired visitors for the website. I also have this very nice stats here. So we have run the Stargate promotion for about 2 weeks, and then we switched to the Cosmos.network website once this was live and running. We had around 36,000 people acquired visitors on the website, and our major performer was Blockfolio, followed by Staking Rewards and CoinGecko. In terms of the Cosmos.network, the same platforms in terms of wallets and platforms, and we have had some great stats on that location as well. These are the ones that we have used for Cosmos.network, and we have run this for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then we switched to the Gravity DEX promotion. Around 45,000 people we acquired through CoinStance, Blockfolio, Staking Rewards, CoinGecko, and also some work we have done on marketing with Blockworks in terms of articles and promotions in their newsletters. Good numbers on this one as well. And on the Gravity DEX, we have had 7 days of promotions that started when the registration went live. And we also use some of the wallets and platforms native to Cosmos. These are Kepler and Cosmos Station in terms of wallets. And in terms of platforms, we have used Mintscan and Big Dipper. If people are curious about those stats, here those are. We had around almost 15,000 acquired users. that were clicking through the platform for those 7 days, which I find like being a very good numbers on those. Best performers were Blockfolio, both with the banner ads and also with the native Blockfolio signal that we have used, followed by CoinStats and all the other wallets as well, Kepler, Minscan, Cosmos Station, and so on. Overall, if we were to think about how we did so far, I would say that, and these are only the numbers that we had until the end of April, over 37,000 million impressions that we have had throughout those banner ads. Up to date, we have 95,000 acquired visitors on all of the 3 websites that we have promoted. And in terms of wallets, we also had some wallets downloads, with Atom being a preset currency on those wallets. And we had over 100,000 wallets which were downloaded and having Atom as a preset currency. For this entire effort, we have spent around 8,750 atoms on all the platforms for all of the 3 websites that we have promoted so far. These are some stats that are also into our very detailed report that we have published on GitHub. But as an overall, I would say that we have had some great increase in terms of socials, in terms of acquired users, and also in terms of visibility. For example, on Twitter, this year, the last 2 months were the all-time highs in terms of followers and engagements. Some rocket numbers there. I'm sure people already read those. But almost 50,000 followers in 2 months on Twitter, which is huge. Over 10 million impressions on our Twitter posts. And if we were to compare those results, for example, with last year, we see some, 20x increase, 5x increase in terms of numbers, which is like huge. We also had some great numbers on our other secondary channels like YouTube and also like Blockfolio Signal that we have used for the promotion. In terms of the website, we have some great numbers there, almost 4 times more the users and the sessions, page views as well. Also, in terms of visitors, we had 1 million visitors on the website, and a lot of those came from acquired users and the impressions that went into overall engagement as well. In terms of how the hub acted following those promotions, we have seen a substantial increase in the number of delegators, around 31,000 more delegators in the last 2 months, which was a huge increase from the numbers we have started this year. Also, in terms of Atom and Cosmos accounts, we had 92,000 new Atom accounts, which was also around a 70% increase compared to the numbers we had when we first started. A huge surge, and also mainly due to the fact that we had Blockfolio as a partner in the promotion from the start, was the number on our Blockfolio followers. We have started with around 200,000 followers at the beginning of the year, and we ended up in March around 500,000 followers. Just as a heads up, I know the numbers are crazy, but this is a reality. We have over 1.3 million followers on Blockfolio Signal as of this point in the beginning of May, which is, I know it's crazy, but this is a reality, and this is the power of the marketing that was done on Blockfolio.
That was a huge and really surprising number for me, and I was really stoked about it.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, we're like 1.3 million, you know, and every time we push a signal on Blockfolio, the numbers are chaotic, in terms of impressions, in terms of clicks, in terms of people who are actually viewing your signal. So this is only one channel, and shows like how much the community has increased there compared to where we were when we first started. And all the numbers are crazy, in terms of community, in terms of engagement, in terms of new users, in terms of new followers, new delegators, new Cosmos accounts. Everything is skyrocketed as of this point, which is an exciting news. And we were happy to see the impact that this type of marketing promotion does for our overall community.
Great. Adriana, thank you so much for sharing and for shepherding this through the Prop 34, Prop 46 team. So with that, I think, what we can agree on is with all that new, the new followers, the new wallets, I mean, these are foundational level growth opportunities that will bear fruit for years to come. So, these types of investments, I think, are an important part of the portfolio of what Prop 34 has enabled and what Prop 46 extension will do. So another key part of this is reaching the influencer world. And if you have not seen Cosmos mentioned recently on a variety of YouTube channels, and you probably haven't been paying attention, but Joe is here to explain who, what, where, when, and why Cosmos is showing up on the interwebs. So Joe, take it away.
All right. Well, I'd just like to add, we started on with pretty much nothing. So it's been a very interesting experience to go from nothing to leading a Twitter and YouTube troll army, which I love. I think it's been a lot of fun. I recommend people going to the write-up that we made to look at the actual videos that were put out. I'm not going to be able to do it justice here, but you can look down the list.
I'll
look
link
how many
that.
views there were. Look who was making those videos. I think it's pretty impressive for what we had before, which is almost nothing. So I'm really proud of where that's came. So our two biggest influencers are going to be coming on shortly. One of them I can't quite say yet, but one of them I will, and it should be being announced. It was supposed to be this week, but something came up. It'll be next week, most likely. But we're going to be working with Anthony Pompliano, Pomp, for the next 6 months. I got that relationship just from a reach out I made from, it's kind of a cold call. I just shot my shot, and I shilled McDonald's and Domino's in the comment. So he was like, "Oh, I like this guy." So, but
that's a huge win, Joe.
So yeah, so we have 6 months of Pomp podcast ads, 6 months of his newsletter ads. We're going to get a Twitter shout out, and Pomp's on our squad now, which is awesome. I'd say the second biggest snag so far also came recently, and I will be discussing that shortly once that gets finalized and the money switches hands and stuff. But I'll just say he's one of the brightest stars in all of crypto Twitter. Everyone here should know him. He's a shining star, so I'm excited to get him on our team as well. I would just recommend going through that link, looking through all the YouTube videos we got. One shout out, I'm just gonna randomly, I personally got a lot of joy out of this, was we signed up TechCon Catalina, who I didn't know before, but she's big in South America. And it was really satisfying to watch our Spanish Telegram chat double and quadruple over the course of a week or two. So
yeah,
this stuff works. It just works.
I was gonna say this during Adriana's presentation, but I mean, who would be the best person to speak to the international expansion? I guess that we've been seeing with this, because I know that with what Jack says up, numbers
Adriana.
Up. Oh, Adriana.
Well,
okay.
Number go up for sure.
Number up. Number up only. Yeah.
Adriana definitely knows quite a bit more about that sort of global Cosmos community. And actually, one of the first things she did when she came and joined Tendermint was set up our global community ambassadors program. I think we have people doing localized content in 20 different languages at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's thrilling. Yeah, I wanted to note that for sure.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's an explosion in our community, and we have seen this globally. We have seen this in our chats that we are moderating, the Telegram, the Discord chats. We also see this in our local community chats, and that, like Jack said, having content which is specifically designed for local communities in the local language definitely helps. And one of the things that we also want to continue to do with Prop 46 is also to address this global and native communities to make sure that Cosmos is reachable to everyone, and language is not a barrier for them anymore. And yeah, we are excited to move this forward and make sure that more exciting events like this will happen in the future as well.
Thanks. That's great. So maybe pivoting, Prop 46 offers, a simple extension of the time to spend down the existing Atom, but we also, in the proposal, suggested that there are a few more spends that we're considering as part of this extension, again, just within the existing budget that Prop 34 approved. And one of those has to do with the Gravity DEX. And obviously for anyone participating in the testnet, we hope you're having a great time. There are over 25,000 people who signed up to participate in the DEX testnet. Adriana, could you speak to the success on the community funds being allocated to support the testnet and what you see in the future with Prop 46 funds to support the next evolution?
Yeah, definitely. So like I said first in the beginning, when we thought about how to best spend ads and how to best target our community, we also thought to include Gravity DEX as well. So what we actually did is, because all the platforms, the contracts were already set in place and the duration of the contract also included the Gravity DEX registration, we have switched over from first Stargate, then to the Cosmos website, and then to the Gravity DEX page for people to sign up. And we have played with those ads depending on the needs that we had. And what we have seen is that also almost 15,000 people actually clicked on the link of the Gravity DEX registration in the terms of 7 days through the platforms that we have used. Those numbers are huge, right? If we think about the fact that we had 25,000 people registered for the Gravity DEX incentivized competition, we have on the other side 15,000 coming and clicking through the ads that we have promoted. So yeah, I would say this type of efforts are definitely not noticeable and have played a huge part in the promotion that we had for the DEX. This was like in the short term. In the long term, what we want to do is to make sure that we have these venues ready for when the Gravity DEX will actually launch. And if we have made the 7 days promotion for the competition, what we want to do is, after the competition ends, to assess all the data, to understand how the competition went and how how the platform is ready for the launch itself, and then use this time for actually marketing Gravity DEX to a larger community than we actually did with the incentivized testnet. So yes, we do expect a lot of activity coming for the Gravity DEX promotion throughout this time. And yeah, we have a lot of different venues in mind to market the DEX, and we're happy to share those as soon as we have Prop 46 approved for the next spend. In terms of why Gravity DEX is important at this point to market, is that being a product design for the Cosmos Hub, it will benefit directly the Atom holders. And all the activity and the let's say the traffic that will go through the DEX will be of huge importance for Cosmos and especially for the Atom holders. So yeah, we expect people to support this effort and to understand why the promotion and the market of the DEX is so important for the community, and to allow us to spend those funds wisely for the promotion of the DEX.
Great, that's perfect. So one of the other areas that we're considering with Prop 46 is, again, in the spirit of optimizing how the Atom are spent to best serve Prop 34's goals, was an understanding that the meme competition didn't quite pan out the way we had hoped. Big shout out to Massey for putting forward his best effort to make this happen. Despite its some success, and I think we all agreed that the quality wasn't exactly what we were hoping for. So we're pivoting over to the creation of videos, and with an eye on community-generated, high-quality community-generated videos on key topics as a means of connecting with people entering the Cosmos ecosystem and making sure that they have well-designed videos to help them engage Atom, engage the community, engage governance, and better understand how to become great cosmonauts. And Joe, I was hoping you could just speak briefly to that, on what that might look like.
So I don't have that list in front of me right now. Crap, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
I'll get it for you.
Our idea was just to there's so many bright minds in the Cosmos. We see it every day. There's so many talented people in this world. We figured we were getting low quality stuff with the meme contest, and we still had quite a bit of money behind it. So we figured, why not just get a little bit more high quality, pay people a little bit more for the high quality work, and create some educational content for everyone. So let me see if I can find the list of the possible.
I put it in our chat. Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
Okay, so for some of the possible categories we were thinking would be just explaining the Cosmos Hub, and these are all about 5 to 15-minute YouTube videos. We were thinking explaining the Cosmos Hub, explaining the Cosmos SDK, explaining IBC and what it means for crypto, starting and running a node and how to pick a validator, and all that stuff that every new person that comes into the Cosmos has those same questions. A guide to using the Gravity DEX, beginner educational videos on blockchain, SDK, explainers on the value proposition of Atom. These are all just different things that we can link to people that are just coming into the Cosmos. So when someone asks the same question for the 30th time, we have a high quality video already created. We can hyperlink, and we don't have to spend all of our time trying to hand wave and explain everything. It's like, oh, this amazing cosmonaut already made this video for you. And that was just kind of our vision. So we'll get the final details out soon and get everyone starting on that, hopefully.
Yep, and we expect to have something in the range of 10 to 14,000 Atom available to support the community in deploying these. So excited to see that roll out. So maybe as in the last 10 minutes or so, I'd love to get the OGs, Zucky and Jack, to maybe weigh in on kind of what's on the horizon. Just generally what you're excited about. In the Cosmos ecosystem. Also, it'd be great to just give a good reminder about the importance of governance and voting. Just a reminder, we're at 20, and actually somebody came in during this stream, during this live AMA, we're at 24% on Prop 46. Anyhow, Jack, Zaki, any kind of like gathering thoughts about where we go next?
You're muted, Jack.
Well, where we go next, I think the obvious answer is Moon, of course. But, just continuing to drive awareness for Atom, what we've accomplished here in the Cosmos Hub, and, all of these really exciting features we have upcoming here. The folks on this call, Adriana and her team, are working overtime right now on the Gravity DEX. We had about 10x the amount of signups that we were anticipating for that. So, That's huge, exciting. We need to spin up more servers, and Adriana's working overtime. Zaki and I are working really hard to ship the Gravity Bridge right now. I'm going to get off this call, and I'm going to get in a text editor, and I'm going to be writing that code right after this. And, that's going to be a huge push later this year. Other things that folks on this call are working on, staking derivatives, a huge feature for the hub, a flagpole of Atom 2021. We will be shipping that this year. And there's, these technical features that we talk about are exciting, but I think what Prop 34 acknowledges, and Atom holders came out strongly in favor of this, and what we're seeing with the voting already in Prop 46 is that Atom holders are even more strongly in favor of this, is that we need to spend money on awareness and marketing. And, this group right here has learned that. We've been in the trenches, and we're seeing how to get out there and promote this thing that we're doing. And I'm looking forward to the learnings from this and, finishing up this this huge campaign that we're doing, percolating down to all these different organizations. Zaki and I are working on Sommelier Finance, but also still very involved in the Atom community and, figuring out how to market this core technology around IBC has been a big learning from this. The Regen folks also extremely involved in the Cosmos Hub and the development. David is, getting a little bit more integrated with the community, taking a lot of these learnings from the broader Atom community back to Regen. Adriana at Tendermint, and then Joe sort of coming into more of this core ecosystem. This spend that Atom holders have done has paid huge dividends, which, those stats that Adriana showed, every time I see them, it's just like, did we really do that? That's pretty wild. And, looking forward to just building on success throughout this year and taking it further.
Before Zach, you guys, I want to make one comment. So the humans getting better and striving is all about standing on the shoulders of giants before you. And I, for one, am very happy next time if Prop 46 gets approved to stand on the shoulders of Prop 34, because holy cow, it's going to make it so much easier. We already have a foundation. If you guys were cool with Prop 34, you should definitely be cool with Prop 46. But we just figured we would honor the Cosmos Hub to give them the privilege and the right to say no. We don't like what you guys are doing, and that's okay too. But I, for one, am stoked to stand on the shoulders of Prop 34, and it'll be much easier moving forward.
Zaki.
That's all.
Yeah, all I'll say is probably the thing that I'm most pleased about is about the way Prop 34 has improved, has changed things. Is one of the goals really was to change the dynamic a little bit from this dynamic of basically yelling at Tendermint about marketing to doing something about it from the community's point of view. And I think that this has really shown that the community can do something about it. It can work hand in hand with Tendermint as well to kind of move our shared goals of the whole vision of the community fund in my mind is if you have the Interchain Foundation and all of their process and work and grants program and funding of core engineering, and that you have Tendermint and the whole dynamic around Tendermint, and really the community fund is the third leg of the stool, and the community fund activity has really been a core result of that third leg of the stool actually starting to come into action.
Great. Well, and maybe with that said, I think we should, just wanted to, on behalf of the team, give a big shout out to everyone, in the Cosmos ecosystem who voted for Prop 34 originally. We'd be honored to have your vote for Prop 46 so we can continue on this work. And really, this is the cosmonauts being cosmonauts and really, stepping forward into governance and the sovereignty of Cosmos and what it wants to be moving forward. So a big debt of gratitude to all of you. We see you in the Telegram channels, all of you hustling and building and growing and connecting. We're frankly just building on your work as the management of these funds and bringing you some new, fresh blood to keep growing and expanding the Cosmos ecosystem and help the Atom become synonymous with what is possible in the blockchain world as we get closer and closer to disrupting some of the things that need disrupting in the conventional world. And I think Cosmos is going to be a standard bearer for that, one way or the other. So just a reminder, we've got a couple of days left to cast your vote for Prop 46. You can do that Cosmos Station or Kepler. And that's about it. Any closing remarks from the team? Otherwise,
questions?
Or questions.
I can
It
put
is an-
questions up on the screen
Yeah,
too.
I mean, it is
I
an
feel,
AMA.
I feel like as I've been watching the scroll by,
there was a comment inbound thing the whole time. Let's get Cosmos on Robinhood. All right, John R. killing it.
Into it, really important. Also, we'll mention, while we've been online, we've gathered around, I think around 4 million atoms worth of votes. So thank you guys for voting while we're here. And if you haven't voted, I'm going to come find you.
Jack is the whip. Jack is the whip for this whole thing. I might add, like, he's definitely like some hardcore, put this man in the Senate.
I mean, I grew up reading a lot of American history, and that number 3 position in the House was a very interesting one.
It's very nice.
Jack seems like he's been working.
Actually, it's been the opposite. Kieran, thank you. I really appreciate that. I have styled my hair and shaved.
He just combed his hair. That's all it was, literally.
I had a vague intention to shave before this, but I didn't.
Okay, let's see here. Is there a dedicated marketing channel? Daniel asked a few good questions about marketing deliverables. And Daniel, you should reach out to me or Adriana. Let's just chat about Cosmos marketing. And if you're looking to get involved, I'd love to talk to you and, figure out how to plug you into the community more. This is one thing that, Joe has shown. If you want to get involved in Cosmos, there is always a way to do it. And there are people here who will talk to you, who are compassionate, who are interested, and who want to bring more people into this ecosystem. So yeah, Daniel, please reach out to us privately in Telegram or Twitter or any of these various channels that we're all in. We would love to chat with you and figure out how to get you involved.
One small thing I'll add is we set aside some more funds for Prop 46 to pay all the people that are putting in work. There's people on this chat right now who have gotten paid $0 and put in a lot of work. But additionally, there's people that they're around the Cosmos. You can find them that have reached out to me personally and said, you know what, I think Cosmos is lacking on Instagram or Facebook or Reddit. And I tell them, you know what, if you're willing to prove to me that you're going to work and you're going to put in time, you are more than welcome to get some of these funds as well. So Daniel, if you want to start a Discord chat that you want to operate, I mean, there's so many options that if you want to put in time and effort,
TikTok,
I mean, there's so many opportunities that if people want to really dedicate time and effort and they're a cosmonaut and they're on the same mission, reach out to me, reach out to any of us. And there's a good chance something can happen if you have the work ethic and you really are passionate about it. So.
Awesome. People asking to be unbanned. This sounds about right.
Any other questions?
Oh, Steven, what's up, bro?
Hi, Stevie. Oh, that's funny. That's great. Let's see. Any other things on here?
You said there was a Google form, Adriana? Oh, here
yeah, there was a Google form, and we had actually a question there from one of the cosmonaut. He was asking if we had thought of marketing Cosmos on Brave. And the answer to you is yes, we did. We have reached out. We have a working discussion with them. And most probably this will be folded into Prop 46 now with the DEX and everything. So yeah, if the Prop 46 passes, expect to see some Cosmos on Brave as well.
Awesome. So Diakasun asks, and by the way, thank you for kind of being around the community lately and asking a ton of great questions. How do you balance collecting data to target marketing versus the needs of the privacy community? I think this is an excellent question, and I'm going to take it in a slightly different direction. We have kind of, as a Prop 34 team, targeted sort of general segments. We're saying like we want to target crypto Twitter, and there's some YouTube influencers that we want to target. So we're sort of more of a broad-based targeting effort. But one area where the sort of needs of disclosure versus privacy has been really pertinent for us is we were paid by a DAO. So we need to report results to that DAO. And Adriana has done an absolutely fantastic job in collating all those and giving us something to report back to you folks. But that's been really hard for us behind the scenes because a lot of these folks are not used to working with a DAO that's super transparent. They're used to working with companies and signing NDAs and only having a very small group of people who need to accept these results. So we've had to work really hard with pretty much every single vendor we have in order to be able to publish these results. And Joe and Adriana especially have spent hours talking to and convincing people to allow us to share these results with you. So that is one area where I would say that the sort of conflict between disclosure and privacy has been really pertinent for us.
Yeah, and we have tried to give the community a breakdown on the information as close as possible to what we were allowed to actually divulge. Because, for example, one of the questions in the Google form was if we can break down more the spends, because we have actually made the breakdown of the spends based on the main categories of the spend. And one question is, can you break it down more? And the answer is what Jack has actually said right now, is that a lot of those contracts were under NDA, and we weren't allowed to, let's say, make it public the exact amounts and who we have spent those amounts to. So what we did in order to make like an overall spend report for the community was to group those spends on the type of spend in order to say, okay, this is how much we have spent on banner ads, this is how we have spent on influencers. And I would say it's a pretty good breakdown based on the type of information we were able to share.
Great. Any other questions floating out there? Anything else?
Yeah, there's one question, but I don't really know how to I think he deleted it. Did that really just? Oh, never mind. It got. I don't know how to make these a thing, but Lip5050 says, will Atom stakers earn fees from the DEX being paid in Cosmos? I'm assuming they mean being paid in Atom. I'm not really. Yep. Yeah, I don't. But the answer is yes, which is why the gravity
number go up.
Number go up, but user go up, and also I believe awareness go up. I mean, so from my kind of, as somebody that's been trying to get literal billionaires to buy crypto and believe in this stuff for such a long time, and asset managers as well, this is the kind of fundamental network value stuff that I think is more tangible than GitHub user growth or something like that. You're really able to say, you get the transaction fees, you get the network security rewards for staking, but then you also are getting this hub native exchange. And Jack made a good point about this in a conversation we had with the marketers recently about how this is kind of relevant to the Coinbase listing and things like that, and all of these really interesting new ways that you're able to benefit from insane network participation, basically. So that's a good question.
Yeah. How many companies use Cosmos and for what? I think we've got over 200 different chains building on top of Cosmos. We are by far the most widely adopted build your own blockchain framework. All of the top 5 crypto exchanges have built blockchains on top of Cosmos, and there's a ton more examples, but we have a lot of folks using the software that we've built. When do you anticipate IBC usage to pick up? Stevie, when IBC? Great question. I do anticipate that as soon as this DEX goes live, there's going to be a lot more reason for people to move funds over IBC. I recently connected the Cosmos Hub and Akash to a DEX testnet and did some test swaps on that. The experience is great and the plumbing works. And as soon as there's a compelling reason for people to move their funds, which currently there isn't, we've got a bunch of bridges to nowhere, then there will be significant usage increase. We already have wallet support. You can use Kepler to send IBC transactions. And as this DEX rolls out, we're going to see massive usage on that network. Also, one thing that was kind of surprising for me, Crypto.com has turned on transfers probably about 2 months before I thought they would. And that is a huge, another like $5 to $10 billion network that is connected to IBC. So, you know, this snowball effect of quickening adoption is really starting to pick up, and very excited for where that goes this year.
And I'd like to add, it's going exponential right now, but that's just because it started at 0 not that long ago. If you look at the map of zones and switch it from 1 day to 7 day to 30 day, you can see that most of the transactions are coming in recently. So it's already going exponential, but like Jack said, it's a bridge to nowhere. So like once the DEX is live, once all these different, there's liquidity and different decentralized exchanges, Osmosis, there's a whole list of them, you'll start seeing it popping off. So,
yeah,
it's happening.
Yeah,
and we already have this very nice community that we are building on, right? That we have secured and acquired through all this marketing campaign, and all this community is now going to be flooded with news about Cosmos and Gravity DEX. So yeah, it's a very nice, let's say, very good numbers to build on once we have all this live. Map of zones, yeah.
Woo!
That thing's gonna be
some
wild.
Questions about the DEX. Please go check out swap.bharvest.io, I think is the URL. There's a great demo. There's a working demo of the DEX there. It works very similarly to other decentralized exchanges you've used. I actually think that the UX is a little bit nicer. And one of the cool things that the Gravity DEX does is enables, it shows you some of the highest yielding pools and helps you pick places to put your liquidity in. The competition ongoing right now, I'm really excited to see some numbers about that. Will banned protocol be on the DEX? Yes, there is a website called WinIBC, which shows when all of the Cosmos networks that have agreed to join the IBC network are planning to deploy. I think banned is probably early Q3, if I remember correctly. And, you know, this is one of those things that is sort of starting slowly, but we have a lot of people, like a lot of zones that are going to be joining. And this bridge to nowhere problem that we're talking about, as soon as that's solved, there's going to be a strong incentive for zones to come online and to join us and to check out the Gravity DEX and to be listed there. So, you know, this is just going to kind of speed up quite a bit, especially over the next 2 months. And I anticipate that Win mainnet site will have a lot of really cool stuff. Oh, wow. Some solid fake real money APIs on the Gravity DEX right now.
You know, these fake ARBs, boy, you want to win the game.
Yeah.
You know, just,
well, but you know, they result in real money if you actually arb them correctly. So, is it fake real money or is it one level of indirection? Hard to tell.
Real fake money.
Yeah,
real fake money. That's right.
The depths of what we're talking about right now. It's 8-dimensional chess on the Gravity DEX test right
soon, now. Admin. IBC soon.
Oh man, Agoric. I'm excited about that one.
Oh god, me too. All right, we've hit an hour. That's probably about it, huh, boys? And
yeah, I think that is. Great. I need to go build this bridge. Speaking of bridges,
go build. Keep building, people. Thank you, everybody who participated today. Thank you for your votes. Prop 46 got 2 days. Get out, turn out, click that button.
Hey, much love, Cosmonauts.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Later.